Yo,
What is happening?
it's like I'm sitting here, everything ready, and I'm just like, oh, I'll go press the button, and then, oh, I don't have a microphone in front of me. It's not like I
That
haven't
would
done
help.
this, 90 other times.
Yeah, what is this, 91?
91.
Holy camole. As my son would say, holy camole. That's crazy.
Yeah,
The century
time
mark
is
coming up soon.
Yes, sir. How was the Mother's Day yesterday?
It was good. Weather cooperated, so that was nice. We have an above ground semi-permanent pool, so we put that up on Saturday and filled it with the hose pretty much all Saturday and some of Sunday. So my water bill in a couple months will be fun. But yeah, just shocking it and treating it, letting it warm up, and then we just hung out. We just sat by the fire pit yesterday, had a barbecue.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Yourself?
Yeah, a bit of that. Park had a friend's birthday party on Saturday.
Okay.
Yesterday was weather. Went did breakfast in bed for mom. Went for a walk down. There's like a pond not too far from our place, so the kids wanted to go see the ducks, but the ducks weren't there. So
do you normally feed the ducks when you're there?
No, we just look from a distance. The kids very much, they like seeing stuff, but they don't want to interact with.
I'm cool from a distance.
Yeah,
I see.
I will watch, but I will not go anywhere near you in the chance that you may or may not bite me.
Yeah, you can't trust ducks. They're like cats. You can't trust them.
Yeah, and like the CTC days of like the seagulls the geese attacking people, and
oh yeah,
and things like that, and other birds coming from the sky attacking people, and
just give you a bit of a twitch, eh? Like this little.
Yeah, a little more flashback. But yeah, same thing. Weather was nice, so barbecuing as much as possible.
Yeah,
Because then what? Next week is supposed to go to like back to real springtime weather, like 17, 18 degrees.
Don't say that, for real.
We'll see. Who knows what? It's 2022. You would think they'd be able to accurately predict weather, but I mean, here we are.
2022 weather's. We'll soon have the ability to be forewarned of any earthquakes, which is great. So like that's all right. But in terms of the weather prediction, yeah, it's a bit off.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot worse, which I don't get.
Is it the whole global warming thing though?
I think that could be what it is that you can forecast an upcoming weather system, but again, because everything is so crazy with the changing climate, that everything's unpredictable, so it can just shift at a moment's notice. And because I don't know how many times in the past couple of years we've been under severe thunderstorm warnings that are coming from the west, and as soon as it gets past our prior, it breaks up and you didn't get a drop of rain.
So we listened to a radio station called Moose FM 97.9 Moose FM.
Shout out Moose.
And it's from Bancroft.
Yeah.
And we found the radio station when we were at the trailer, and it would just be our go-to station. And it's a great station, all different types of music, a good variety. But from, I'd say, May up until October, every weather report is like chance of thunderstorm, chance of thunderstorm, chance of thunderstorm. I don't know if Bancroft's in like a little inlet that attracts thunderstorms or whatnot, but it's almost, you can almost cue it up like, oh, here comes the warning.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here comes two.
Thunder rolls. Yeah.
So I saw your display name that.
Yeah. God damn.
Which I don't know. Are we responsible? Because we talked about him last week. Celebrating his birthday.
I just want to show, and I don't know if I've shown this already, but this.
No, but you talked about. That's what you talked about. Yeah.
So this is what he drew for me in 2013
Mr.
at
Jordan.
the Ottawa Comic-Con. I followed him on social media even before he announced that he was sick or whatnot. But it was very brave of him to chronicle, I guess you would say, maybe the last 6 to 9 months of his life, and putting up photos and taking photos with like Jim Lee and all of the greats that he's worked with over the past years, and he truly is an artist that has a style unique to himself, and there really isn't, like, you can look at a photo, or pardon me, something drawn by George Perez and say that's George that drew that, and very iconic stories too. Crisis. I was going to say,
because he's not fully responsible, but co-responsible for the new Teen Titans, which is what most people remember now.
Yeah, like the Jude's contract. Yeah. That was with Marv Wolfman, I believe it was. But also Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right.
With Marv Wolfman. Now George, I think, only did the first 5 or 7 issues of the series, of the 12-issue series, and then it switched to someone else. And I can't remember the reason why, but I know he didn't complete the run of it. JLA versus Avengers 2, which was, I believe, what the photo is from his background.
Yes, you got Wasp and Iron Man there next to Cap and Soup and
so amazing
Wonder. So George Perez, 67. Another
67. Jeez.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago where people were like, 67, that's getting up there. But now we look at it as so young.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, it all depends. Like, you could be like, there's a lady on my street that's in her 80s, and she goes for bike rides every day. And I mean, she's technically old, but she's young at heart. So to your point, like, it just keeps that bench keeps getting higher and higher in terms of, being considered old, right?
Yeah. And then there was you threw your back out from sneezing. I woke up one day, couldn't move.
Yep. The peak of fitness.
Right, peak of fitness.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a visitor into the screen.
Thanos was right.
Right? He was right. They should have just let him do what he wanted to do from the beginning.
Amazing.
Just step to the side and let it happen.
Yeah.
Vishal. How are you, buddy?
Not bad, not bad. How are you?
Doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
Nice to see you now. I've been listening in the last few months, but
long time listener, first time.
Long time participant, first time listener. Snap.
So, away from the sadness of Mr. George Perez, Obi-Wan. We haven't talked about Star Wars for a minute or two. Did you guys partake in viewing this little teaser trailer that came out?
Yeah, it was only after Doctor Strange, though, that I watched the trailer. I had to make sure that I wasn't spoiled like you were.
No.
So I did watch it.
Well, I have it. I have it here. I'm trying something different. I got the volume turned down, and you don't have to mute it. So we can talk over. I think those are stormtroopers.
Those look like stormtroopers.
Who's at the Grand Inquisitor?
It's hard to tell because
that's so cool.
I remember the Grand Inquisitor with a massive dome.
Yeah. Maybe the dome shrinks with age.
That happens.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I need to catch up on Mandalorian and the Book of Boba, assuming that there's going to be tie-ins from that to this.
Don't those happen after this? Is that the timeline? Because this is all happening. Like,
oh yeah, I guess so.
Like Obi-Wan's going to be happening basically a couple of years, or say 5 years after Jedi, or yeah.
Oh, there he goes. Now he can breathe.
Or no, sorry, not after Jedi. After Sith. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's coming up too at the end of the month, eh?
I feel as though until this, there's really nothing going on in terms of
when is
worthwhile watching on the Disney Plus
coming out.
I think that's the summertime after this.
July.
Oh, July.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. people are talking about too is, wrong button. So they've changed Miss Marvel's powers, and people are up in arms about it.
What are her powers?
Well, she's basically
in general, in comic books.
She's like, what's his face?
Like Mr. Fantastic.
Richards. Yeah. She's
so you can stretch. Yeah. This is new to me.
So based on from what you can tell from like images and stuff that's coming out, or even the first trailer, it's kind of more like energy. So she can do the same sort of thing, but it's not her body doing it. She projects almost like Green Lantern.
Oh,
and according to Kevin Feige, there's a reason for it.
Yeah, because Marvel has to hit their quota of like special effects per movie, and you're not going to get it with Miss Marvel. Oh, really?
Or I don't know. Maybe it's because we haven't introduced mutants yet, so people shouldn't have powers unless it's given to them by a stone.
But she's not a mutant; she's an Inhuman.
No, I get that, but
you know what? I guarantee
they're already
Inhumans aren't really canon right now, right? Because they're not using that old series as part of the MCU. It's MCU adjacent. We can dive into that in the
fair enough, but maybe I wonder if it's them, because if she's going to be eventually standing side by side with Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, has cosmic powers, that maybe they want to make it a bit more aligned so that they all kind of share a similar trait. Who knows?
Perhaps.
I'll tweet at Kevin Feige and see if I can get an answer.
see if he can get some info.
Yeah. DM me. Hit me up, Kevin.
Isn't here, Kevin?
Yeah. All right, KF. We got some talking to do.
Yeah. Oh, I DM'd Kevin Federline instead.
Oh, no.
I meant Feige. He gets back to me right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll let you know that you're.
He's like, oh shit, someone's talking about me.
Yeah.
Your Uber Eats order will be arriving in the next half hour.
That's right. Yeah.
Kevin Federline. That guy made it. Well, I'd say made it. He made it large for like a minute and then just became the butt of everyone's jokes.
Was he just Britney's husband, or was he a an artist? Did he?
I don't know if he. Because I thought he started
off
as his dancer, as his backup dancers.
Yes.
But then after the split, didn't he start rapping? Maybe.
Yeah.
Something like maybe rapping or just like some sort of. He I know he had an album. I don't know what kind of album it was, but I'm sure it was a top 100.
My album drops on Dr. Phil. Yeah, he's probably had some reality TV show as well at some point. K-Fed.
I assume he was on Dancing with the Stars because that's when you know you've hit it big.
That's right. That's right.
Wait. But those are real stars, though, right?
Oh, yeah. And they're really dancing.
100%.
Kevin Federline released an album called Playing with Fire. It's his only studio album.
Oh, God.
It was released October 31st, 2006. And there is a parental advisory for explicit content on there.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't get it.
Yeah, I can't say that I recall any song on that album.
He had a song called Crazy, which featured some vocals contributed by then wife Britney Spears.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay.
This is the most talk Kevin Federline's got from anyone in the last decade.
In decades.
Since 2016. Or wait, when did that album come out?
2006.
Yeah, so since 2006. This is the most anyone's talked about.
Wow, the whole length of the album was less than an hour, 49 minutes and 36 seconds.
Wow.
Oh, that's across 13 tracks.
Oh my God.
Really?
Oh, sorry. One song. Track 1 is an intro.
Yeah. Track 13 is an outro, I'm assuming.
Of course.
Track 11 is an interlude.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Unreal.
He gets a minute and a half into, he's like, that's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
The longest song is 4 minutes 48 seconds. And that's the title track of Playing with Fire.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Because Kept on Talking includes the hidden track Middle Finger.
Ooh. That's probably why there was a parental advisory.
For sure.
Man.
Kevin Federline.
Oh. It's fitting that one of the song titles is called Privilege.
Yeah.
And America's Most Hated.
Who's coming up with the names of these? This is terrible.
Yeah, seriously.
We have The World Is Mine. Again, fitting.
That's stolen from Nas, but yeah.
Dance with a Pimp featuring Ya Boy.
Go on.
Yeah. Please continue.
You got Lose Control, Snap, Crazy, as I mentioned, A League of My Own, and Caught Up.
Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like, bad.
He is on every song as a writer.
Ooh.
That makes sense. Oh, and sorry, Vishal. His peak position on the Billboard Top 200 was 151.
Ooh.
That's
really?
higher than I ever would have guessed.
Absolutely higher.
Yeah, it's 50 slots higher than what I thought he would be on the top 200.
All right, so now let's look at the average rating. 15 out of 100 is the aggregate score from Metacritic. Slant Magazine gave it 1 out of 5 stars. Rolling Stone, 1 out of 5 stars.
Like, the comment is like, would have given 0, but that wasn't an option.
Yeah. No, you have to rate them.
At least 1.
Yeah. You can start giving halves after.
Positive.
Yeah.
An F from Entertainment Weekly. All Music gave it 1 star. 2.9 out of 10 by IGN. And if you're wondering, its first week it sold 6,000 copies. As of 2007, January 22nd, the album sold just over 16,000 units in the United States.
Yikes.
I mean, that's bad.
Super
but
bad.
10,000, like 16,000, that's
10,000 from when it debuted at the end of October to January of the following year.
I hope the person that signed him to a record deal is no longer signing anyone to record deals anymore.
Well, you knew, that was just signing it so that, like, to try and cash in on the Britney Spears thing, right?
Yeah,
they're like,
true.
People will buy this because of, the whatever happened between those two, and it just underestimated the amount of like care on the Kevin Federline side versus the Britney Spears side.
I feel like if social media was around when that was released, he probably would have had also 6,000 followers. So it's kind of in line with
that's
what
fair.
to expect from K-Fed.
The album holds a score of 15 out of 100. This is on Metacritic, and indicating a quote overwhelming dislike. It is the lowest rated album on the site, scoring less than half of its third lowest rated album, which is Limp Bizkit's Results May Vary.
Limp Bizkit, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's another name.
That's another conversation.
Wow. I was going to suggest maybe you quickly play a track, but I'm good with that.
Let's not do that.
Banned from everyone.
I feel like I just got a little bit dumber just from listening to
this.
So we all got treated to that Avatar Way of Water teaser with Doctor Strange. Now it's officially out for the world. What's people's first feelings on Jake Sully and family? Aside from what's the easy play is, it's Pocahontas 2.
I don't remember the first Avatar.
13 years, I think, right? So
I know I've seen it. I don't remember it though. I remember being a spectacle, and I don't know if that's a good thing necessarily, because if all I remember being a spectacle of the graphics and whatnot, but I don't remember the plot points. Then...
Yeah, that's my question. Is it people remember it fondly because of the technical achievement that it was, or
I think so.
It was such a good movie.
Yeah. All I remember from the original was that they were it was military. There were soldiers that could convert themselves or take the body of an avatar, I guess they were called.
Right.
And they were trying to get a resource from the planet?
Unobtainium,
I don't know.
is what it was called.
What was it called?
Unobtainium.
That unobtainium.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't.
You think he went unobtainium? And was like, nah, it's too obvious.
No.
Let's throw another syllable in there.
Yes, like the movie was like, the movie made as much money as it did and got it the hype that it did and all that stuff because it was one of the first, or maybe the first movie that 3D actually kind of made sense. Like it you know, after Avatar came out, every movie came out in 3D, and it wasn't, in general, it wasn't done well.
Most movies were filmed and then they converted it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with Avatar, they didn't overdo it. It was just in the few spots that had 3D. I remember being like, wow, this looks really cool. You know, if everything would be like this, then 3D could be pretty good. But, you know, like Cory said, it was just that it was filmed in 2D and then converted to 3D afterwards, and it did not look great.
Yeah, a lot of motion blur.
It just, every other movie just didn't do a good job of it, where Avatar did. And the reason it did such a good job is because they just kind of sprinkled it in. Like the one scene where, was it Jake and what's the girl's name? Natiri?
Sure.
God,
Something
you
like
remember
that.
their names.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know, like in their forest or whatever, and the little fairy things, not fairies, but there's like little things
Like
flying
light
around.
bulbs. Light bugs? Yeah.
They're like flying around, and like that scene in 3D looked really, really good. And you know, all the other stuff was fine, but like that scene, I was like, oh wow, this looks fantastic, and this could be a real thing. It absolutely wasn't, as we know. And I think even now all the movies that are in 3D are converted afterwards, right? They're filmed in IMAX or something.
Yeah, I think IMAX now is like the
Can also
standard of filmmaking now for everybody.
And you know, they add that 3D in. What I would, when we saw the trailer, the first thing I thought of was, I wonder if they will be able to do 3D right again with this one, or if they'll kind of ruin it by just tossing it in when they can, and or tossing it in all the time, and you know, really making it, you know, not great. But I think that's what was great about Avatar at the time, was it killed in visual effects, in 3D, in the kind of mixing of the avatars and the humans, and then like the mechs that they like go into and all that stuff. I thought, like, I just remember it doing all that stuff really, really well. The plot, the story, it's like, it's whatever. It's fine. I remember
numbers.
Yeah, like I remember it, but yeah, like, you know, Cory's right. It was basically Pocahontas, and you know, it's not a like,
when you have all of a tree.
Yeah, like it's not. I mean, whatever. It's Pocahontas, and that's fine. It is what it is. It doesn't have to be bad because it's a ripoff of Pocahontas. But it also didn't, like, I don't think that's what they were trying to show off with the movie, right? They were trying to show off what they could do technically, and they did.
That's the impression I get with this sequel, is that it's the scenes are going to be very loud and bright, and there's going to be a huge emphasis on them. So I feel like, it's going to be,
it's going to be another look at what we can do now.
Yeah.
And,
look at the money.
Yeah, and it'll be, because is this the one that James Cameron went down to like Mariana's Trench for, and like, I don't know, like there was something about James Cameron.
Yeah. A guy in oceans
filming really, really deep in the ocean to get like a really like a sense of what it would be like that deep under the water. and
he kind of did that with the Abyss, right?
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure I read that he actually went down to maybe not Mariana's Trench, but okay, hold on, maybe it is Mariana's Trench.
That's crazy if he did. So are they the same characters? I would imagine not. I would imagine it's the same race, same planet, but different characters.
Yeah, it's the two main characters are still going to be Jake and Zoe Saldana's character.
Yeah.
I think but this one's about they have kids now. So this is, I don't know if it's actually going to be 13 years later like the movie, or if it's just going to be 5 years,
right? It's all computer.
Was it 13 years ago? Was it 13 years ago?
2008.
Does it not feel like a lot longer than 13 years?
Yeah.
Does it not feel like it's closer to 20, if not more than 20?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And there's gonna be 4 more of these. I don't know.
Yeah, it was in 2009, and they're making. Wait, are they making 4 more or like 5 in total?
4 more.
This one was going to be the second
total.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this and then 3 more.
If Star Wars can have 2 trilogies, so can Avatar.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the
you kind of have to go with different characters. I would assume like it's going to be hard to tell. Like you have the introduction, you have the family, but then to do, especially if it's progressing this. If again, let's say it is 13 years later.
Yeah.
Is there much you can tell with 5 movies over these just?
Maybe it's not an open closed story with the second one. Maybe it's like the first act of 3 acts.
Like a part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
God, I hope not.
Well,
just there's even things that I really, really enjoy. I don't want them to be split up into, like I really like The Hobbit, but The Hobbit should not have been 3 movies long.
Yeah.
It was a shorter book than any of the Lord of the Rings books by a lot.
Yeah.
And each of those movies had stuff cut out to be like their own movie. And then The Hobbit gets 3 movies. Like I don't like that. It's just, obviously it's a money grab and it's fine. But like it, if you like the books, then you're going to hate those movies because they have to fill all that time. And, they're not going to fill it with everything that's in the book because they could have done that in one movie.
Yeah.
So as soon as you
said, was it one of that Harry Potters? You said they cut out half the book and then just made up new shit for it.
Oh yeah, for
Blood Prince or something.
Yeah, for movies that come from books, I absolutely expect things to get cut out. There's no way to keep everything that's in the books, and I'm okay with that. It's when they cut things out and then add new scenes that weren't in the book. So it's like if you found the time to add in random plot points that weren't in the book, then your excuse of, oh, well, there wasn't enough time to add this scene kind of goes out the window.
Yeah.
You're doing a disservice to the source material.
Exactly. Right. Like it's like you have the source material, you have everything you need to put this scene in. And you're saying, oh no, like we don't have enough time for that. But then you're making up new things.
You guys just wrote this whole new scene when you could have just copy and pasted from the book.
Yeah. Like it wasn't necessary. And like that's what they did with The Hobbit as well. There's just a lot of stuff in it that they threw in just to kind of extend that runtime and drag it out into a few more movies. And so I don't know. I guess that's the thing with Avatar is I don't think that there is source material, right? There's not a comic book. There's not a
Disney only made 2 Pocahontas movies, so
yeah. I don't think I saw the second one. But so in that case, it's a little different because they can do whatever they want with it. They're not kind of stepping on anything.
One other thing too, like James Cameron, like I think he funded this whole thing himself. Did you know? At least the first one.
Pretty sure.
So there could be 5 movies because he wants there to be 5 movies, whether they come out or not.
Yeah, that's true too. This could be a George Lucas type situation.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it was because it was 20th Century Fox before Disney bought it when he was doing these. So
yeah. So it definitely could be that. And I don't know, like the teaser, like the trailer doesn't really show too much, right? They were just trying to show off how beautiful it was going to look for a minute and a half straight or whatever. And that's fine. I'm going to see it. I know that. And Avatar's, I'll probably watch that again soon just to remind myself.
Long
but
too,
it is. It's a couple. I think it's a 3-hour
situation.
But like, I don't know. I don't have any. I know I didn't hate the movie, and I know that it wasn't the best movie of the year either. But I do remember feeling like, wow, this was done right.
Yeah, that's all I remember was that. Everything else, no idea.
Yeah,
I guess it's like coming out of Star Wars at the time, right, in '77, where it's people were really into sci-fi, but look at what they did with it, right? It was something that was completely different at the time.
Yeah.
Or like, then they had that. Well, I guess like it's almost like in the '80s when they first introduced 3D and all the horror movies were going in 3D.
So did they drop the trailer on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Doctor Strange.
It was the trailer I think just came out for everyone today, but the first people to see it were when you saw Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Okay.
And on that, let's watch a little TV spot before we get into our nice little discussion of the film that was.
And how many of these scenes were not in the movie?
I don't think Wanda was in it.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Actually, it seems like all of these.
It looked like
all of
these
this
ones
was
were,
in the movie. Yeah.
But see, I would have been pissed if I watched this.
Oh, absolutely. So you avoided all the.
I watched one trailer and one TV spot.
So I saw the first one that they showed in theaters however long ago, and have avoided everything since then. And I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a few things that if I had known about, I would have been pissed. I would have been very, very angry that I found out about it. But yeah,
I feel like I know I got spoiled. I was scrolling through YouTube, and I think the same thing for you, Cory.
I remember having this conversation with Vishal. He's like, I don't go on anything but YouTube. And then,
actually,
I went on YouTube, and that was the first thing that was there.
So that's that. There was one thing that got spoiled because there was one trailer. I remember, Cory, you were like, "Don't watch it. There's a spoiler," and I was like, "Cool, I will not watch it." And and I opened up YouTube, and one of the first things, I think it was from New Rockstars, and it was just like, what the X character in Doctor Strange means for the MCU, and I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me!
Oh no!
Yeah, because they weren't even like, here's a video, watch it, you'll find out what's going on. It was
all
in the title.
It was in the title. It was in the thumbnail, and it was like maybe 20 minutes after Cory said, "Don't watch this." So it's like it came out that day. And there was already like, just why do you need to put it in the thumbnail? Just let me scroll past it.
Yeah. Then it's like, we got on Twitter and Krasinski's trending.
Oh my god. Yeah. I was like, well, I hate Twitter.
Yeah. Thanks, Elon.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like now it's like, oh, what does blank's cameo mean for the future of the MCU with his picture right in the
thumbnail.
And in the thumbnail. So you're just like, so if you didn't see it, now you know. And then now they're just flat out telling you without any warning. But we saw it, so now we're not spoiled. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. A lot of madness going on there.
Was there though?
Wanda was pretty mad.
Yeah, she was. She was just irate, I guess. She wasn't mad, okay? She's just a mother.
She I feel that she was given justice in terms of how powerful she truly is and how accurate it was to the comics. Like when she, there was a point in time where she was broken down completely in the comics, and it drove her insane. And I feel like we saw that here. And I don't think there's any denying now that she truly is the most powerful being, hero, whatever, out there. Because if you remember with Endgame, it was like, oh, look at that Captain Marvel. Like she just flew through was it that she flew through the Thanos' ship or whatnot? But there was a demonstration of power, but throughout this whole movie, they just kept upping the ante on like, look at how powerful it is, look what she can do. And granted, a lot of it most of it is probably coming from the Darkhold, but still her manipulation of that book and using it to her advantage.
Even in Endgame, like she held her own against Thanos and was on the verge of beating him. She could have done it a bit faster, but she was just like playing with her food basically. And you know, the reason she didn't finish the job was because Thanos, you know, just shot rockets down at everyone to
rain some fire.
But like, if he hadn't done that, the way that she was going at him, like, you know, she could have ended it right there.
Yeah, maybe.
But no.
So if we
although that was the one outcome that's strange happened, so I guess she was never.
Oh yeah, that she was never supposed to. Yeah, you're right.
So if we set this up and the movie takes place, would you say right after the events of No Way Home or shortly thereafter? I would have to imagine. Well, no, it does in fact, because when they're sitting with America in the cafe,
they mentioned Spider-Man.
They know who he is, but they don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Which would be really weird. Like, think about that. Like, you only have, like, what happens to those memories where Peter wasn't wearing his mask? You have, like, fragmented memories of this hero, but you don't know who he is. So I would have to imagine it takes place just after the events of No Way Home.
Which I think now lines up with
the year
WandaVision with, like, a couple months. So, like, WandaVision takes place, No Way Home happens, and then now this happens.
What did you think of the opening scene with Defender Strange running on the yellow brick road towards? Yeah, like they just jump right into it.
First, it's like one of those ones that I missed something. Part of me was concerned that it's like, oh shit, we're gonna have a very, very heavy CG shit floating around movie versus, like, you know, practical scenes and things like that. But then, right after that scene, you're in New York, which, however real New York is with Marvel shooting films now. Yeah, but that's my first instance.
I'm like, here we go. I'm okay with fake New York as long as it looks good. You know, like I've always been on that thing where if I don't notice the green screen, if I don't notice, you know, obviously people flying and capes catching real. People, like,
that's the real part.
You know, you have to suspend some disbelief for sure, but like
it's a one-eyed octopus going around New York City.
You know, people walking in the background, if they're there actually or if they're not, I don't really care if they green screen them in or put them in post, because like that's not where I'm looking anyway. You know, that's not the focus of my attention in most of those scenes. But there was so in that first scene where they're, you know, trying to chase down the book, there was a few parts that I remember, like when he was bringing all the like rocks and boulders to try and capture the thing. There was one part where like America like kind of looks back, and then the rocks flying, and like the timing of her moving out of the way looked really awkward, and I was like, obviously that looks terrible. So like that kind of stuff takes me out, but for the most part, I didn't find anything too like egregious with CG.
That opening scene, the one thing that I was a bit worried that kind of took me out of the moment was that monster that was chasing him looked like Parallax in Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. I was like, no. Like, I mean, I know this is a multiverse, but like this is the wrong crossover.
I was wondering too, how many references to demons are we going to get before they go like Ghost Rider and not to bring up Mephisto again, but just go that route because say the demons chasing
hopefully
her.
one more because
we had
let's get Cage back in here.
Yeah, it's the Beetlejuice 3 times, and then because we're dealing with witchcraft and now books of like the dead and stuff like that, and yet it's all just teased and never brought upon.
Maybe it's by design.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it has to do with those little nuggets are there.
Yeah,
you know, the trail is being put down, but if they had, you know, added more things into this movie, you know, we would have been like, come on, there's too much stuff. They didn't explain anything, or they didn't give themselves enough time to, you know, explain all these little nuggets.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say too. So we were dealing with like Endgame ends, or I should say Endgame brings up the multiverse and timelines. Then we go into like legit dealing with timelines and variants and all that stuff with Loki. That's right, hat variants. But this seemed like it just that you don't need to know about. We're only going to deal with the multiverse. But we're talking branched realities, which they keep showing, but this again is stacked universes on top of each other. So which one are we going to be dealing with? Are we going to be dealing with timeline issues and a multiverse, or is the multiverse is what they're focusing on, and this was just like a red herring?
Yeah, because
like none of these guys, like they're not variants now. Like Loki and Sylvie are variants. What was the other ones? Thanos coming in from a different timeline was a variant, but now we got Peter Parker's, which they're not variants. They're from the multiverse. They're different. Which again, his Captain movie, all the Peter Parkers look all different, and then in ours, in MCU, every variant or every multiverse person looks the exact same.
Yeah. Even if they have different titles and different roles or whatever, but
they still look like the same actor. But
seems as though, exactly. Like Mordo is the same across universes.
Yeah,
but
we'll get to that part of it. So, and then we can go into Wanda. Like she's messing with reality, which that's a whole different beast altogether.
Like that was a great scene, though, wasn't it? Like when so even before that, when he was fighting, was it Shumagormith or Gargantuan, whatever that one-eyed monster was? I loved that scene because even the music, even the score, it was, and I found it to be like that throughout the whole movie. Like the score, it was very Sam Raimi. It was very Army of Darkness. It was very like dark and cold and scary horror, and whatnot, and horror. It was perfect.
Did Oliver? Did you pick Oliver?
There was a few scenes where he put his and I mean, to be completely honest, I don't remember because between that and me yelling at 17-year-old kids, I can't remember. Like, there's a few parts of the movie that I was.
I think the scariest part would have been like when she's going through when she's in the mirror dimension and she's using the reflections to, she's grabbing people and you see the eyes and she's like Pennywise coming out of the mirror.
That I hate. Like I love scary movies. I love horror movies. They're all fantastic. I love everything about them.
But it's the contortionist.
When people do that choppy walk, I'm like, I can't do this. This is not. I hate it. Like,
you should see Ragdoll and the Flash series. That is that.
No, thank you. I just
crab walk with his head normal. Yeah,
I hate it so.
Oliver
much.
Stopped watching the Flash because of Ragdoll. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, that choppy walk. I'm just like in the ring when she comes out of the TV and is just like, I can't. I hate that so much. Like I nope out so hard.
I'll cash my chips, please.
Yeah. You know what? Keep the chips. I'm out here. I don't care.
I thought the scene with Wanda was great. A perfect yin-yang to what she was showing as reality, but really what was reality.
And then the switch from just American speak back to the Sokovian accent. Yeah. When it was revealed that it's all bullshit.
What I kind of didn't get, so when she dreamwalks, is that what it is? Dreamwalks, into that other universe. We're to assume that Wanda also has those powers, right? Because at the end of it, she does fly out of wherever and fly back to her family.
Correct.
And we are to assume that she is probably just as powerful, of a being and stuff. Like the whole time I was just like, why wasn't she able to defend herself at all?
From herself?
From herself, yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like there wasn't even a hint of a fight back. It made it seem like.
You mean the second time that she came, like when she came back?
No, that time too, but even just the first time when she kind of like pops up in the window and then ends up like
why didn't you like her powers kick in? And
there should have been even something, but especially the second time it was just like she didn't even defend herself at all. And then I was thinking, well, maybe in this universe she's not Scarlet Witch.
And are we also supposed to believe too that she's still inhabiting Westview in these other universes? Because again, Strange says that she never had kids. Like you made up these children, but in every other universe she has them, but there's no Vision there.
Yeah, and where's Vision? And why wouldn't she go to a universe that has the kids and Vision? If
so I think they addressed it later on when Doctor Strange, not to get too far ahead, but when Doctor Strange embodied himself, I can't remember who it was that said it, but how are you able to dream walk into yourself when you're here? Like that's a paradox. But then it was the zombie or the Defender Strange that he did that too. So I think that part of it's answered where you can only go into your body in a different multiverse. And I think maybe perhaps what happened with Wanda, from not our Wanda but their Wanda, by having her body inhabited by the 616 Wanda, maybe that sparked the powers. And so maybe
she didn't have the powers.
Maybe
before.
She didn't, or maybe she was unaware that she had the powers. Whether it's unaware or didn't, I think it's something like that. Where when she was under the spell of our Wanda and eliminated the Citadel, and we'll get to that in a second, that sparked the powers. And so when she came back the second time, I think instinctually, she knew that she could do that, but not know how to use it.
Right.
So but you're right. They don't really address it, but that's the logic I'm giving myself anyway for that.
So we also have to take Wanda's past, losing her parents in the, was it Tony Stark's
Age of Ultron?
Losing her brother, and then taking over Westview and starting a family. So at the end of WandaVision, when she relinquishes her hold over everybody, we're supposed to believe that she understood what she did was wrong, that she can't have everything that she wanted, and she
saw the light.
So at the end of WandaVision, when she's reading the Darkhold and she hears the kids, are we supposed to then believe that she forgot everything that she learned from WandaVision to say, my kids still exist, I should then now go back to what I was doing?
I think it was more of a
or just I had my cake, now I'm gonna eat it too.
It was just a psych out. She knew that it was wrong to control that many people and kind of take over a city, but
she's gonna fuck up the universe.
Yeah, but she wants a way to be with these kids, and the Darkhold, she was probably trying to figure out a way how she could make it happen. But then we learned that being in possession of the Darkhold or using it, makes you worse, changes you. So it could have been all right, redemption after Westview, but then she got the Darkhold, and it was
redemption to corruption.
Yeah. Well, I think after that, she through the Darkhold, she learned how to dreamwalk, so she could access other multiverse, other Earths.
Yeah,
and working her way towards, because and unless I'm wrong, like I think it was even called out in the movie that she was the one that was controlling Parallax in the opening scene. I'm gonna call it Parallax.
Shit, it's easier.
Yeah. So I feel like it was a means to an end. Like she started to after WandaVision work on the Darkhold, and then she knew exactly what she was doing this whole time. And then she slipped up when they were in the orchard because she had said America without Steven even saying anything.
Yeah, not good with the lion.
No.
Yeah, part of me thought it was either going to be those kids were plucked from the multiverse originally. That was going to be the way of explaining it, or that this was all going to be just some when she heard the voices, it was just like a way of sucking her in. That like there was no actual children anywhere else. So this was an interesting. Every other universe in the multiverse has them except for the one that she's in.
Yeah,
which then makes if she conjured them once, why can't she conjure them again?
Especially now that she's
arguably
more powerful than she was when she conjured them the first time.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
I feel like part of me thinks that there's something that I'm forgetting that was said in WandaVision by Agatha as to why they're like, because they were there, then they were gone, and why can't she get them back?
And are they stuck at that age, or?
Well, they have the ability to age themselves, right?
Right.
Based on, I think, stressors or something like that. Like when things got stressed, they aged up so they didn't have to deal with like grief and stuff. Kind of like what she does.
Eventually they will, because they're part of Young Avengers. So
they will be aged when they need to be.
Yeah.
Like a soap opera.
They'll be aged once the people playing them can't play them anymore.
So what did you guys think of when they were jumping through? Well, actually, even before that. So when Wanda went to the stronghold where Wong and oh my gosh, Rintra was, and all the other warriors. Kermitage. Yeah. What'd you think of that scene? That was I loved it.
I thought it was great. Yeah. And I thought that they did a really good job of like, okay, people from the London sanctum are here, people from the Hong Kong sanctum are here. Like everyone's here. We'll defend this place. And I thought they did a really it was done in a really cool way.
Yeah.
And I also thought that like Wanda sneaking in and being like, okay, who out of all of these is the weakest? Like who's
my bitch?
Yeah, like who can I pick apart right now? And I like that it wasn't that she just picked someone, but she was like looking around like, oh no,
studying.
Yeah, like you're too strong. Oh, this guy. I can get in.
The guy with the sweated beat.
And it's like okay, I
one of the red shirts says rookie or trainee on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I don't really understand how. Okay, so gets in his head, run, and then he kind of goes and breaks apart the shield and stuff. But like, why couldn't they just start that shield up again with it? Like one person maybe. I don't think it would break the entire shield.
A chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
Yeah, but but there was also a point where like not everyone was
ready to go
doing doing the sling ring thing until afterwards when they were like, all right guys, like maximum power now. Like why wouldn't you just have maximum power from the get-go? There's because Wong and Doctor Strange weren't part of that initial shield until she was gonna kind of break through, and then they're like, oh shit, we need more. Like why wouldn't how powerful she is, and why wouldn't you start off with your
maybe
best?
They didn't know she knew how powerful she was.
Maybe
when
now they know she knows they know.
Yeah. When she got into the head of the trainee and he started bumping into people, I immediately was taken out of it. It's like, okay, like clearly you wouldn't be bumping into people.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I justified it by saying like, okay, well maybe she's still in his head and she's telling him to do that.
Now run zigzag pattern.
And the concentration that these people have in keeping that shield up, they can't turn it back on as quickly. And so as soon as I agreed to that myself, I was like, okay, I'm back into the movie because I feel like you could start nitpicking and
there's a few times where you have to kind of do that to yourself, and you got to just really say, okay, Like obviously it's a movie. And
the one for me was when they were running away from Wanda in the Citadel, and they get to the last one where they drop the water on her, and then they go into where the Book of Vishanti is, and they leave the door open. I'm like, fuck, guys, why? You literally closed 20 doors on the way there.
Yeah, but in the second last one, they stood there and watched and waited.
That was the other thing too. Like we were talking about it like during the movie, where it's like she's busting through every single door you close. So like that's fine. It slows it down for a second. Yeah. But then there's one door you close and then you turn around and you're like,
is this the one?
I think this is the door that stops her. Like, why would this be the door that stops her? Like it makes no sense.
Because it's the last door.
Destroyed all of these doors, and then this one that you're like, yep, it's the exact same. But no,
just standing there.
That's not to mention that she was able to keep up with 3 people running full tilt while she was limping, wearing no shoes.
Yeah. Also, can't she fly? Like, why didn't she just fly?
Well, and I was thinking that too, and I feel like she was kind of jumping and leaping a little bit in the Citadel, and so to myself, I justified it by that either those powers were sparked or she didn't know how to use them.
Yeah.
And so maybe that was the limitation, but you're right, she can fly. So
one other thing. So before all this, after the Ancient One dies in the first Doctor Strange, does he not become the Sorcerer Supreme, or was he never the Sorcerer Supreme?
If I remember correctly, he gets he's running the Sanctum in New York,
right?
And then
but there,
after that, he's just cameo and
is
Thor,
there,
and then.
But there's no interim Sorcerer Supreme, and then he got dusted, so then Wong became Sorcerer Supreme.
Is that how he became? Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right, because that's what they said in No Way.
Yeah, Wong is because he was gone for 5 years.
Yeah, he was gone for. It was like on a technicality is why Wong was Sorcerer Supreme.
Because we have Strange happens, and then he goes into Ragnarok. Ragnarok ends with Thanos showing up, and then we go into Infinity War and Endgame. So that timeline-wise would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was just there's a line where Wong's like, oh yeah, when you become the Sorcerer Supreme, you have access to all these books and blah blah blah. And I remember thinking but wasn't Stephen Strange Sorcerer Supreme for at least a little bit of time in between the Ancient One and Wong?
At least 3 years.
Yeah, some amount of time. And with his photographic memory and all that stuff, I'm sure he would have searched out these books and whatever.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, well, maybe he wasn't. So maybe he was like, all right, I'll still protect the Eye, I'll protect the New York Sanctum, but we'll do a teamwork effort on Sorcerer Supreme.
Co-manager.
Yeah.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Assistant to the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, that was
and also, if they don't have the Eye of Agamotto, why is he still wearing the piece around his neck?
I thought that was something it didn't make sense, but yeah, I think because
I'd say symbolism.
Yeah, someone was
he has to
just a way to show that he can do cool stuff.
I guess
as soon as that necklace starts spinning and stuff, oh shit's gonna go down. Here we go.
That was the only thing I didn't like about how Vision's gem is the time stone, the Agamotto's time, and then the soul.
Yeah,
was that those are integral parts of their costume in themselves as a character. So once you just tie those to an Infinity Gauntlet,
once that story
they had to organically have the stones, right? I guess just had to organically have them there.
Yeah.
Well, the reality stone's fucking liquid. I don't know how liquid's a stone, but
speaking of the look, Scarlet Witch's look was spot on.
Spot on. It looked amazing.
On. Yeah, it really did.
I thought everyone really also okay, so I don't know if I should be ashamed of this or not, but I recently saw an interview with Wong, and he's British.
He's British, yeah.
And I was shook. heard it and I was like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, I heard that too, because it's not like even just that he's talking with an American accent. It's like it's a gruff, like growl.
Yeah. And I had no idea. And I was like, yes, I'm sure that his, Asian accent in the movie isn't how he talks in real life. But I just had no idea he was British. And it just it threw me for one hell of a loop when I heard that.
Just took you out of your
game.
I
was like, now I'm gonna watch him in every movie and be like, talk normally.
Where's that slip up? Where is that slip up?
Yeah. But I thought his fighting was really, really fun in this movie when he's when he's flipping around, and because I don't think we ever really saw him do any of that before. It was always just it seemed almost more defensive fighting, just blocking things, moving things out of the way, whatever.
The only little bit of action he got was in Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
that small scene
where that was the transition from defensive to offensive.
Exactly. And it wasn't much, but in this one, when he's flipping around, doing spins and all this stuff against on the street with the one-eyed monster there, I was like, Wong, you got this.
Well, he is now the assistant to the Sorcerer.
Yeah, that's
so he's got to start earning his keep. Proving his worth. Gee, I can make chain link.
Yeah, look at
glowy things.
So were we underserved with American Chavez? Because I know a lot of fans of the character was pretty disappointed with her lack of because she's supposed to be arrogant and cocky about her powers and stuff, and I'm assuming this there's gonna be a lot more of her down the line. So
I'm sure she might be later on, but in this one it wouldn't make sense for her to be arrogant.
If anything, that would throw me off if she was arrogant. It was
in the first introduction.
For sure, I think they handled it very well, where she was learning the scope of her power, learning about herself in general, being thrown into something that she truly does not understand. It's weird because part of it, she's really knowledgeable on the different multiverses, but then on the other hand, it's like she's a newborn baby and just doesn't understand anything.
Yeah.
And so I found that to be a very nice balance between her with her first appearance.
And it's she's learning more and more as she goes to different universes, which makes a lot of sense, because you wouldn't know all this stuff until you've gone to 70 whatever 75 universes that she's gone to.
I want them to go to the paint one again.
That's the thing is I
awesome.
would have loved, so when they go through all of those and they end up in 838, I'm like, there's about 5 or 6 other universes that I want to see how the paint one, the animated the cartoon one, a super future, there's just so many other ones where I'm like, why couldn't they stop at any of those? And in the
reminds me of that Family Guy episode where they're on shuffle going through different universes on the multiverse and Family Guy, and the ones the Disney one.
Yeah. And then they end up, it's this one, they go through all these cool ones, and then they're like, oh, we're in New York.
We're in New York with more green space.
Yeah, we were already here.
I really thought that they were even leading up to the movie, with all the trailers being released in TV spots, I did see the glimpse of what I thought was the Savage Land. And so we talked about this a few episodes.
We thought they were going to do a lot more.
I for sure, and I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. I really thought for sure that they would at least have Sauron or Khazar or someone just very briefly from the Savage Land, just to do it a bit of justice. I mean, they didn't. It sucked, but
very much when you're driving past the ice cream store as a kid, right? And you go,
yeah, exactly.
We're going to the dentist, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. That was great, though. The paint universe was awesome.
Yeah, there's a few there that I would just I hope some of those come back. And obviously Multiverse is going to be a really big part of this phase, and probably we're assuming that they're going to do 3 phases per kind of I don't know.
We're assuming. I don't
right?
think
they
necessarily
missed
know anymore.
I don't know if this is because of Sony, but I feel like they missed a really good opportunity when they were skipping through all the universes to go, what is it, Earth 67, like the original Spider-Man after Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
That would have been huge.
I don't know if that's Sony though. Maybe
I'm sure
that's
part of it.
Yeah, it has to be a part of it, but that would have been something cool.
Yeah.
Damn movie rights.
I tell you.
But I guess before we figure out where it's going, I guess we could spend some time with the biggest reveals of it is on Earth 838. 838. So we get Christine Palmer in this version. So she's, I guess, not a nurse anymore. She's more of a scientist or whatnot.
Head of.
I was curious as to where they were going to go with Christine having her get married.
616. Like she said 616, and I was like, oh yeah. Like even though I don't know, I loved it. I thought
was
that
great. Your oh shit moment that you?
No, that wasn't. That was one of them. Though. That was like a oh, and then the oh shit came later.
Yeah, the oh shit. I mean,
I think we're leading up.
Yeah,
to
for me, it was just. I think it's the exact same spot. But what really, I didn't really think about it right away. But then after I got home, I was like watching some stuff, and I can't remember who said it, but they were like, did Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio just get lucky when he was like, you guys are Earth 616? Like, how does he know about Earth 616 when obviously he's making up all of this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he says Earth 616, and for us who know, we're like, okay, he might be from a different timeline or a different multiverse or different universe or something. But then we find out that no, he's just making all this stuff up. But where does he learn about?
Part of me thinks that S.H.I.E.L.D. is well aware of all of this. And because he's working with S.H.I.E.L.D., he just picked pieces to build his story up.
Was he working with S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, he's with Nick Fury and Maria Hill, right? At that
yeah,
point,
but they just met, right? They were just like, oh, you helped us fight whatever.
Well, he's working. I guess even
monster.
That, to a lesser extent, he's working at Stark Industries, and Stark Industries is with S.H.I.E.L.D. and providing tech and stuff.
That's true.
Perhaps he gained some files there.
Yeah. But I remember like not thinking about it at all until that person said it. And I was like, yeah. He did say Earth 616. How would he know about it? And I forget what he said his Earth was. Like 434 something.
It wasn't 838 though.
It wasn't 838. No, it definitely wasn't 838.
That would have been some crazy callback shit.
But I feel like that would have just been I don't know. But I'm glad that they are doing all 838 and 616, all these Earths that they know about. Because it kind of it's just a little added touch if you read the comics, right? Then you know that you know which universe they're talking about when they randomly throw out.
Was the Earth that he said he was from.
He said he was from 833.
Oh, it's pretty close.
Yeah. Lucky guess. But
and Christine also mentioned the Baxter Foundation too.
Yeah, as soon as she said Baxter Foundation, I was like,
but no Baxter building.
Yeah, that was when I knew, like, okay, this is real.
I got
very
excited when I was like, oh, there's gonna be just something. I didn't know what it was gonna be, but I'm like, all right, here we go. This is good news.
And we didn't get Spader voicing the Ultron bots.
Ultrons.
No, we got Ross Marquand again, who came on to, I guess that must be his role with Marvel, is to come in and do voices of actors who are not coming back to reprise the roles. Yeah. He was Red Skull and Infinity War, and now he's Ultron.
We don't need your face, we just need your voice.
Just come out, do a sound alike, collect your check, go home.
Yep.
But then,
it would have been cool if they if they had made a call out to those robots as Herbie, because Herbie was a robot that helped the Fantastic Four in the comics at the Baxter Building. There you go. There you go. That would have been like
I contributed.
Yeah. That would have been a cool little callback. But So yeah, the big reveal.
So Mr. Mordo introduced us to the Illuminati. There was a part of me that thought maybe we weren't going to get Captain Carter. She was going to be Captain Britain. But I thought that setup in What If, you had to.
Yeah.
And then we have Black Bolt.
Totally getting redeemed from the show.
Totally redeeming himself.
Totally redeeming himself. It was awesome.
I didn't watch Inhumans.
Either did I.
Should I? Is it Iron Fist or is it?
No, it's even worse.
Oh no!
I don't know. Iron Fist.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we do it. I got like 3 episodes in.
Really?
I only watched them because I wanted
Iron
to
Fist
see
since 2018. So.
Like I wanted to see what Medusa, how they look.
Yeah,
how they did Medusa and Black Bolt. But the reason why he redeemed himself was because of the powers that they showed, which he is truly one of the most powerful characters out there. But even his costume, even his getup, because in the TV show, all he had was like a leather, motorcycle jacket, and it was like,
because I heard there's like all this stuff about how like, this is the one that we should have got in the Inhuman show, and I was like, well, what? I don't know, like I never watched it, so I was like, maybe I should watch it and see. But now, with all these glowing reviews from you guys,
it's bad. It's bad.
So I guess that's the question now. So with the multiverse and establishing that folks look alike, and saying that Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D. aren't MCU canon, but we have established that basically what happens in the MCU does happen in alternate Earths. Are we going to say that now S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans are part of canon, but they're all from a different universe?
Like they're just from 838.
So you can, I guess, have your cake and eat it too here. Let's use the expression again. People who are pissed that MCU is ignoring S.H.I.E.L.D., but by doing this, they're saying, well, we're not ignoring it. It's just adjacent.
Yeah.
Okay. Just stop complaining.
I know. That's
what the internet is for.
I'm definitely at the point where, you can be upset at, I mean, obviously you can be upset at everything. In terms
that
of
is what we're gonna do.
In terms of movies and stuff like that, like you can hate Star Wars all you want to, and you can like Star Wars all you want to. It doesn't mean that you have to like every single thing about. I think I saw this thing on Star Wars Day, and it was just like Star Wars is like a restaurant that you really really like, but that doesn't mean you like every single meal on the menu.
Oh,
you like the foods you like the movies you like the plot points and the storylines that you like,
but you hate Solo.
But that doesn't mean that you have to like every single part of it. And I feel it's very similar with the MCU. It's just like comic book movies in general, whether it's DC, Marvel, like anything. It's you can like comic book movies and still hate comic book movies. And it doesn't mean that as if there's one bad movie that everything's terrible, or if there's one bad plot line in a movie that just doesn't make sense, because you find that in every single movie. There is not a single perfect movie out there. And anyone who says there is, I'd love to hear that movie just so that I can watch it and be like, well, what about this plot hole? And there's always going to be plot holes, right? You can't make a perfect movie. And in terms of complaining about, well, the comic books did it like this and the movies did it like that, well, you can't have it, every which way, because there's 40 different comic books about Spider-Man. So they're picking 42. Sorry, they're picking and choosing the storylines they do, and they're having their way with it. Of like, oh yeah, we're gonna choose this plot line, and we're gonna do that plot line.
Yeah, well, they're adapting, right? They're not translating.
Exactly, and they're allowed to make their changes. Which at first I used to really be like, man, I hate that they did it this way, because I read a specific way, and that's the way I think it should be. But at the same time, I'm not making these movies, So, when I make my own, I will make it the way that I want to.
How many people walked out of Spider-Man in 2002 complaining that he had organic web shooters?
Yeah. And it's like,
that didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me. And look, I mean, look at
he's a man with spider powers. You would assume he would be able to shoot his own webs without having to make something and then make fluid in order to do this. He's a Spider-Man.
And look, it got us an amazing scene in No Way Home where they're just like,
the best scene.
How did you do that?
And they even did the same thing in Doctor Strange too when they're asking about that in the conversation with Spider-Man. Like, how does he shoot webs? They shoot
they're like, I hope not. But like, there's going to be lots of things that get explained and lots of things that don't. And just, I don't know. I feel like you have to just go with it at this point because there's no way that you can keep up with everything you need to see.
Well, and honestly, like, fuck, Marvel's are now earned their right to do what they do.
Oh,
like, they've proven time and time again that they've got a plan, they've got a roadmap, they've delivered. So just shut up and just let them.
Exactly.
Let them...
It's like the person that you're watching a movie with or a TV show, and they're always like, "Well, what does that mean? What does that mean?" Even though it's going to get explained in 10 minutes. Shut up and watch.
Yeah.
But
when in the movie when they were talking when they went to Wondergore, I looked at Oliver and I was like, "Oh man, it'd be so cool if like High Evolutionary was introduced even as a cameo." And then for like 5 minutes, he's like, "So who's High Evolutionary?" It's like, not now.
Just
not now.
That's Guardians.
Yeah,
we'll see in Guardians.
Afterwards.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But speaking again too about literal interpretations, we get Professor X with his 97 X-Men roller chair.
Loved
the
it.
music.
And then his like strolling in with you could barely look over the seat. Yeah, like they could make it smaller or give him let him sit on a phone book
underneath.
Yeah.
The thing is high. The thing is literally floating on the floating above the ground. You can't have hydraulics in the seat just to bring him up a little bit. Yeah, fucking 838.
Pressed a lever and it's just
damn 838.
It's not my Baxter Foundation, clearly.
They used their budget on the polycarbonate jail cells.
It was
plexiglass.
A nice reveal though. Nice reveal.
But he was looking old. He ain't coming back for no Doctor Strange 3.
And you know what? Like I had a feeling. I was telling myself that maybe because they can do a lot. Like Marvel can do so much now with graphics. Like they can now de-age. They've de-aged RDJ and whatnot. I was thinking they might do that, or they might have taken his name is escaping me. From
McAvoy.
Thank you, McAvoy. They might have taken McAvoy and voiced over Patrick Stewart. So I was thinking one of those two could have been like they could have done that, but to your point, like he looked tired.
I think with they could have de-aged him, but it's like how many more of these does he actually want to do? Right? Like
how much do you get paid for this?
Yeah. But like if they de-age him, they're basically being like, okay, he's gonna be in a few more movies and expect to see him again.
Yeah.
But
that's a good point.
The fact that they didn't, and it also kind of leaves it open to Cory and I were talking about this after the movie, but like it leaves it open for James McAvoy to be Professor X in a different universe.
Yeah.
So,
but like I said, that's
if
everybody's the same on the MCU side in every universe, then can it be anybody else, or is this the only Professor X you're getting, and they do something else with X-Men?
And I think it's just just a loosey goosey part of the MCU.
But it's the same thing. Like he can still be. Someone else can be. Oh no, never mind. I was just thinking like Maria Rambeau is Captain Marvel. Like there's different Captain Marvels, but she's still Maria Rambeau.
Yeah, and it's the same actress that's playing.
Yeah, it's the same.
I think
she's just a different.
When you do this, and this is going to come to the next reveal. When you do this, and Joe Fan goes, Joe Fan's not going to understand later if someone else is playing.
Or if they don't see this, they won't even.
Then it's fine.
They won't even know or care.
Yeah.
Which is like coming up to our next reveal.
When we have, Reed Richards, Universe's
hold on,
show.
just before that though. How I don't know about you guys, but for me, like when Monica Rambeau was there, I was like, okay. Like it was like,
who is this
I
for?
really found the the Illuminati to be like a bit of a wave. It was like Black Bolt, like Sharon Carter, like
cool,
and then Professor X, Baron Mordo, and then
it's the fireworks display.
That's right. But then the last one,
as soon as they were like, and the smartest man, I was like, oh, here we go. And as soon as they showed him off,
did you guys clap or yell or cheer or anything? I did.
I think our theater was like pretty quiet the whole time.
Oh,
but
man.
That was like, that is, I think, the other than like release the Snyder Cut, that this is the biggest internet
2018,
thing
I think it started,
that people have wanted.
It's Marvel.
I think the minute Marvel got
version of the Snyder Cut,
because
the minute Marvel got the rights to this back, I think that's what
that
we've been
everyone hearing. Was like, got to be John Krasinski, got to be Emily Blunt, and if it's anyone else, it's a fail.
That's right, and there was that like artist rendering or like conceptual art of what Krasinski would have looked like as Reed Richards. And you can find it online.
Yeah, I think it's like a still from him from
for sure. And he's kind of looking back and
Guantanamo movie.
Or
Benghazi movie.
It looks like
I think it's
carbon
perfect.
copy of unbelievable.
Like it absolutely is a perfect casting.
Was it the ultimate version of Reed Richards that they're basing off of?
Too old. Run. Yeah, he's too old. The ultimate version is younger. So I had that reaction, and then I immediately went like, oh my god, no, like I don't know, maybe they're just doing this because it's been like we were talking about that just people have been calling it, and it was fan service, and it was like, so we won't get a movie with Jim Halpert as Reed, and then immediately I was like, oh, and this is even before like they faced off against Scarlet. It was just like that minute or two where he was talking in that scene. I was like, I cannot get enough of this.
Yeah.
And then I had that realization where I was like, oh fuck, maybe they're just like, this is Marvel's like, here you go.
Yeah, and like that's it. Here you go, and that's it. But like that's what I was saying that to Cory, right? Like we were talking about it outside of the theater, and I was like, if they killed him off in 838, and if they just recast someone else to be Reed Richards, and they're like, don't worry, you here you go, you got your John Krasinski. It's not what we had planned. It's not what we had planned in our roadmap, but since it's only for a couple of minutes, here you go, you can have it. And so and so is going to be the Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie,
directed by
whenever that comes up. Yeah. Oh my god. Hey, I mean, they need a new director now, right? So
it was so it was so good. It was.
He's so good at it just seems perfect, and it at this point now, if they choose anyone else, it's not going to be good. There's going to be major backlash from the the very vocal minority.
And the good thing about
head down to Marvel Studios.
Yeah. Again, the good thing about Reed Richards as a character is that, unlike Captain America or even Iron Man for that matter, you're insulated from having to worry about him aging. And so what I mean by that is you can lock Krasinski in for 3-4 movies, and even though he's in his late 30s, early 40s, if he gets into 50, 55, it's not going to affect Reed Richards as a character, because he is by nature an older character. He's got the gray in his hair, they can work around it. So I think it's okay. Just make it happen, Marvel.
I know, just make it happen.
Make it happen.
I don't think I think that Marvel casts pretty much everyone perfectly. I would say maybe other than Pietro not being what's his name from X-Men for obvious reasons. That's one thing. Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men movies was significantly better than
kick ass.
Yeah. But like everyone else, I don't know if it's just, we've seen them so many times so that's just how they look to us, and anyone else would be different. But Marvel does such a great job of casting, but John Krasinski as Reed Richards is the only thing that makes sense to a lot of people. And I mean, I'm one of those people, and I'm at the point where I'm like, if it's not going to be him, just don't make the movie. I don't need a fantastic.
and here's the thing, they can't afford to take that risk again. They've tried now 3 times previous to try and reboot or just make the Fantastic Four movie.
Fantastic Four movies are so bad. Like
they've got to get it right.
There's no redeeming qualities. Usually you can find something that's good, and you can't even be like, well, Jessica Biel's kind of cute. Like, no, that it doesn't matter. The movies are terrible movies, and so if they do it again and it's not John Krasinski, that already gives you, if you make a Fantastic Four movie and you have John Krasinski as Reed Richards, you're already at a 6 out of 10. No matter what happens in the movie, and then anything good that happens just brings it up. But without him, it's it's gonna be a bad time.
The thing with Reed Richards is you have to have casting Richards, I should say, is you have to have somebody who is likable, but you can tolerate the character being arrogant. Because again, this is the man who is the smartest in the universe, so he knows it. So he's gonna be arrogant. He's gonna be cocky.
And if that doesn't remind you of Jim Halpert,
he's gonna be putting staplers in Jell-O,
of course.
Yeah,
but so he's gonna have that edge to him, and if you can't get an actor that people can look past that and think, I like him, so therefore I can tolerate this. Tony Stark was arrogant, and so
people love him.
Robert Jr. Yeah, people love him. Doctor Strange is arrogant too, and Benedict Cumberbatch nailed it.
Yep.
So yeah, you need to have that quality of likable,
an asshole that you can like.
Yeah, the lovable asshole.
Yeah, that's it.
The asshole with the article.
Was it not it all started with John Krasinski once? Was it The Quiet Place, or was it Jack Ryan? Because it was when he had his beard. It was when he saw him with the beard, which you never saw in The Office. It was holy shit. Okay,
yeah, we had that beard in that Benghazi movie.
In what was that called? Something hours, 27 hours. No.
Oh.
No, it was.
It was. Let me think.
Let me think. Just don't listen to the.
So we talked about the high of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the low.
So here's your Illuminati.
Yeah.
There goes your Illuminati. The next scene.
Yeah.
Let's roll call. Name everybody. What's that? Oh, I hear something outside. Let's all go take a look. And then
Baron Mordo, I'm gonna stay in here.
Yeah. I'm the guy who's gonna be in the sequel, so I'm staying right here.
Yeah, it was and it was that scene when they were standing in the Citadel, Reed and Black, and that's what I scrolled past. And as soon as I saw it, I was introduced to Reed just before that, a few minutes prior, but it was fuck,
and that goes to the other point too of Wanda. Now she's killed people. So can you really have her be redeemable?
She technically, yes, she killed
that
people.
That body didn't, but the other one.
Yeah. So that brings me to my oh shit moment where I screamed, oh shit, was when Wanda, why are you doing this? Black Bolt can kill you with just a simple word, or with his mouth. What mouth? Yeah. And then just holy shit.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it was nice. Sorry, just to go back a little bit with Black Bolt. It was really nice that they did the flashback where they showed his power too. That was
because I didn't know about his power so much, and so when they showed that off, I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's why he didn't speak.
Yeah, that's why he was. Yeah, exactly. That's why he was signing. And then when that I was like, oh shit, it's the Matrix. Oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
So, but here's the thing, like it was an oh shit for a moment for me, but then I thought to myself, like, why are you like just don't have an internal monologue, like just don't speak unless she made him speak or say something.
I thought maybe it was that like he thought he could like break through that little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like he had
right.
like he could just power through it, but then it
is just skin.
Yeah, like exactly, it is just skin, but apparently
friggin' plot hole. You can literally dust someone, but you can't break through your epidermis.
Exactly.
Like, come on. Yeah, that was cool though. That part.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Noodles.
Just
silly
gone too quickly.
So, admittedly, I felt when she went after
and then the head pop at the end too. That was the worst.
It was all so quick that I couldn't follow it. Yeah. All I knew so she turned him into like spaghetti noodles essentially, and then
like string cheese.
And when
she blew up his head.
Blew up his head. Okay.
Pop goes the weasel because the weasel goes pop.
Yeah, it was like oh.
And then Captain Carter gets cut in half, and then Captain Marvel gets taken out by a statue by
rocks.
Yes,
rocks.
Crushed by rocks.
That part I was like, she's got to be a little bit more. I'm sure. Yeah, okay, she got knocked out a little bit, but like she wasn't unconscious.
Is there a possibility that they never, because all you saw was her hand fall, right? She could have been knocked out. Maybe there's an opening for her to come back
Marvels
and be like that last piece of the Illuminati from that Earth.
But Mordor's still there.
Oh,
right?
That's true.
That part too, I didn't understand. I felt
he's in the trench.
He's in the trench. It did seem like he had his boots of whoever when he was fighting Strange.
Yeah.
I'm like, couldn't he just use those to kick himself up a little bit like Strange did? Like Strange went just basically off him, did one wall jump, and was like up. I feel like those shoes could give him
parkour.
Hardcore parkour. Like I'm sure those boots could have given him at least a little bit of lift to do one wall kick and
all he would have had.
He was just like, "Wow, that's way too high for me."
If only he would have yelled "Gainer." It's true though, right? Like he's a sorcerer supreme.
Those power dampening cuffs, even if they're on one hand, it prevents you from using magic with the other hand.
Maybe you need both hands.
Well, I guess you got to have the one, and then
the one that does the thing. Yeah. So
one that holds the door, the other one opens it.
Yeah. Except that there's also lots of people that can just think about it and it pops open. Like Wong from No Way Home is like talking to people, and then the portal opens up behind him, and he's just like, "All right, well, I gotta go. Don't
see you."
Yeah, I gotta go cash my check. So,
and also when Professor X goes into Wanda's mind, and like to me, that just seemed like it was just a straight, literal. We're redoing Dark Phoenix here for a second.
That's where you really saw his age, right? Where it's like,
wow,
you do need that wheelchair, sir.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, you sit in Captain Picard, you're on the USS Enterprise in Star Trek, you're in the chair for X-Men.
It's like that's how you've been able to do all these movies.
You've got your niche.
A lot of sitting.
Your niche. Yeah.
But yeah,
there's no way he would have been able to pull out.
He was like frail.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, like there was no limit to them showing you how cruel and bad Wanda turns. You know, like with how she got rid of the Illuminati and then just walked up to him like that.
Yeah.
And it's whoa, like I know that she redeemed herself towards the end of the movie, but I don't know if that was enough based off of what she did.
Yeah, like how do you come back from doing all that? Like seeing one scene or one thing of one universe's children being scared of you,
right? Which she was told about, so it's not like she was surprised.
Yeah.
Right?
So we went to 2 hours of I already told you this.
Yeah, I told you so.
And like how does that one thing turn her around to being like, I'm too bad. Like, I'm bad. I did a lot of bad stuff. I gotta stop.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
You would think that at this point, with someone with that much power and has done that much bad stuff, you might be like, that was kind of a bad idea, but maybe I just need to do it bigger. Like in Spider-Man 2, when he's like, no, my math is right. I just need more. Like, I just need to make it bigger. You know, like at a certain point, you get to that point where it's like, no, I was right. I just need to be better at being right.
Yeah.
So do you think that's...
I don't think she comes back as a hero. I think she comes back
as
a villain teaming up with somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe they bring Magneto in and there's your dad.
She went in the comics. She went a good 7 or 8 years where she was, and it was even back in the 70s with the West Coast Avengers. Like, she had these instances where she was the villain. Most recently, like when she got rid of all of the mutants, and I think she's now in this period. I feel as though Elizabeth Olsen, she's not done with Marvel, and like unless.
No, she's come out and said all the stuff that she still wants to. She wants to say no more mutants. Like, she wants them
like that.
Recite that line.
Amazing. Yeah. But I wanted to ask, like, is that our introduction as confirmation that mutants exist? Was Xavier coming out?
I guess.
I mean, he never says mutants, right? It's just He could just.
But he's a man with telekinetic powers.
Like, she has telekinetic.
And the music came out.
Yeah, like I think that I'm sure that's what they want, right? That, okay, there's some place where mutants exist, but it also leaves them an out if, for whatever, like, I can't imagine them not wanting to have X-Men and all that kind of stuff, but if for whatever reason they can't, or they don't want Hugh Jackman or can't get Hugh Jackman to be Wolverine or something, and they're like, yeah, you know what, maybe we'll just leave X-Men out of this for a while. They can say, well, we never said humans. Like, it was Earth 838 could be anything, and he could just be a guy with telekinetic powers like Wanda has. Like,
yeah, you got it from an Infinity Stone too.
What's that?
You got it from an Infinity Stone as well.
Yeah, maybe.
So we have any issues with the zombie introduction to the MCU outside of What If? Marvel Zombies a thing now?
I was okay with it.
Yeah, like
I don't think the extent of what we're going to get from Marvel
I think
Zombies.
That's the thing, is I don't think that there's going to, now that a zombie has been shown on screen, I don't think that means that zombies are fair game in any movie. I think this was just a callback to What If, and
Sam Raimi's here, so
exactly. Like, if anyone, like, Taika's not going to bring in zombies,
or will he?
I would be willing to bet a lot of money that he's not. I think it was just a one-off, as like, hey, look, it happened in What If, and so did a bunch of other stuff from here, and that's it. We found a way to have a zombie, but that's pretty much going to be the last. I don't think there's going to be like a zombie universe or some kind of zombie war.
As much as Arthur Sidium, the artist for Marvel Zombies, would have loved to seen that, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to be a real thing.
No, I think it's just to your point, just nice little callback. Bruce Campbell, nice little cameo.
Yes.
Like, how awesome was that?
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
That's over.
It's over. Yeah.
I like how Sam always finds a way to get him in there.
Yeah.
This is boy.
That's right.
So Clea shows up, post-credit scene. Second one. The first one, to me, just seemed like it was
weird.
Oh, so it's not the first one. The end of the movie.
Yeah.
The end of the movie with the third eye, to me, seemed rather pointless given that other scene. Like, why have him freak out with a big headache for his eye to show up just for the other to show up at the end of that?
Wait, okay, so there was Clea, and now I'm forgetting which one.
The second one, sorry, was the Bruce Campbell.
It's over.
Oh,
it's
right,
over.
yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to say the end of the flick where he's goes for a stroll and is screaming because his third eye pops up, and then Clea shows up.
But does Clea show up right after that?
It almost seems like it's a continuation, but also it's not a continuation.
Yeah, like I was under the impression that
the Troy Barnes it continues, but also it doesn't.
It doesn't. I was under.
Why wouldn't it continue?
Well, because I don't know. I thought that it was so he walks out of his sanctum and he's in the middle of the street and he's like, I have a third eye, and
then credits continue.
And then I don't think that it was like the same walk that he was on.
No, because he's got a scarf on.
Yeah, it's like so. I think that later on when Clea comes up and he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready," and his third eye pops up, that he's had it for a while and understands what it does, right?
Yeah, like okay, like he called it.
Yeah, and so I don't think that it was just like, yes, he had that headache, whatever, like freak out when he had that like forehead ache when when the eye showed up originally.
And why did Wanda get it if she used the Darkhold?
Because
Evil Strange got it for using the Darkhold, and
from what I heard and saw on the YouTubes was that eye is related to the Eye of Agamotto, and that's why the Doctor Stranges have it after using the Darkhold, because it allows I forget exactly what it is, but it's like allows you to see or control certain realities or something like that. But the Stranges have it because they have control of the Eye of Agamotto. And Wanda doesn't, because she just doesn't, but she just gets other dark evil powers, or the ability to control those powers with it.
So we have Clea. So obviously they're going to set up.
I'll buy that.
They're going to set up Clea as the future Mrs. Doctor Strange now that Christine's married.
And
the Dark
Dimension. One universe, though. I guess. Like we don't know if she's married in 838, right? Wait, does she die in 838?
No.
Do we find out?
No,
she doesn't. Yeah, America was going to send her back.
That's right.
From the sanctum with just the front door and no walls on the side.
Right.
So Dark Dimension. So I'm assuming Secret Wars is going to be coming. That's the big thing with the multiverse, and that'll be the big after these phases. Because we're talking big villains. What the bigger villain is having all these variations of the universes fighting one another.
Is Secret Wars that's the show that's
Secret Invasion.
That's the Skrulls. Secret Invasion is Skrulls.
Secret Wars is we have.
Okay.
So there's two,
because they keep talking about intrusions, right? Because the intrusions, there's a universe taking over another universe.
So there were two secret. Well, there were Secret Wars where the Beyonder brought everyone onto this planet and they fought, which they could do, which is what you're alluding to. But then there was also Secret War, singular, which is where Nick Fury brought together the characters to do a little like spy action with Doctor Doom, I believe it was. But yeah, like maybe it is a good segue into Secret Wars as the next thing. But then also it could be, they're finally going into the Dark Dimension. Maybe that's where Mephisto is. I mean, what would a movie be with a Mephisto reference?
Yeah,
yes.
Every movie now after WandaVision.
Oh, I sent you. It was a meme. Someone said there was there was this one of the TV spots or trailers for Doctor Strange just had what looked like a face. Someone's like Mephisto.
Yeah. And then it was like on all the No Way Home things when they showed you're the devil or the devil's inside your mouth. Oh, it's Mephisto. It's Mephisto.
You watch. This is what's going to happen with all this talk. It's very similar to like Krasinski with Reed. They're going to bring on Mephisto, and then 2 seconds,
they're just going to be
Strange is just going to kill him. He ain't my daddy's devil.
Oh, hashtag not my devil.
Not my devil. That's right. Yeah. So if you were to rate it on,
I was just gonna say what of it did not like. My thing is, to me, this played like a Dark World, Thor Darkhold. It was just it was
Steven the Dark.
It was a movie that happened, but like nothing got really resolved outside of Wanda, just like the Dark Elves. It was like a filler episode.
I would say what I didn't like the most was how quickly they got rid of the Illuminati. They could have easily left it open for interpretation somehow, some way, but that was one thing that I was like, oh fuck, you know.
Yeah. I just like what I told you after the movie ended, Cory. I was just I as much action and everything that there was in the second half of the movie, I was just kind of bored. I thought that
there was some serious pacing problems.
Like exactly, and I thought that when there was action and all that, it was great. But anytime there wasn't, I was just kind of like, we should be moving along, maybe a little quicker, or doing something. And just there's a lot of slow motion walking, and I'm like
walking and talking.
Yeah,
like an Aaron Sorkin
does
TV show.
This movie really need to be 2.5 hours long? Like we could probably cut down. We don't need to see them walking for 3 blocks and then cut to where they were. They could have taken a few steps and then cut to where we were.
I think what they also could have
got a cape. You can totally go there. Like
exactly.
It had a rip.
Portals. Like
he had a rip. It had a rip in his cape.
He fixed it. They had that that tape that you can slap on the thing and the water stops.
Yeah, it's Gorilla Tape, isn't it?
Yeah, he put that tape on the cape. Also, it's a clue.
The ShamWow guy fixed it.
Yeah.
Where they're walking and they step on that thing for the flashbacks, like the
memory.
Your memory. Like they really could just had America walk on it just for a bit of her backstory. Like we know that he loved Christine.
Yeah,
we knew that. He said it. They talked about it at the beginning of the movie, and they talked about it.
We know how important that watch is. We don't need to know.
Yeah,
that
we knew that in the first movie.
We know Christine gave it to him. We know that it's important. Like that scene was a waste. It didn't give us anything new.
Like to see
other than the fact that he's stealing kidneys.
He didn't end up with her. We know that they didn't work together. That's like all said. Even she says, like in every universe, he's not with her.
Yeah,
so he didn't need that
several times.
I never thought about that. That's a great point.
And then put in like one of the half-hour worth of deleted scenes that they cut out.
Yeah, that could have easily been a bonus scene later on.
Yeah, and even that the exposition after the memory of her, she also could have just said, and not seen her parents get sucked through the portal.
Other than that, I definitely like the first half of the movie a lot more than the second half. The Illuminati, like just the Reed Richards reveal, I think was just the best part of the movie. Definitely a thing that, like I said, I would have been very upset if I found that out beforehand, because it wouldn't have hit the same way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's listed as a Doctor Strange movie, but it was as much a Wanda movie,
or WandaVision season 2.
Yeah, like a Scarlet Witch movie. But it's kind of in the similar vein as how Civil War was listed as a Captain America movie, but really it was an Avengers movie.
100%.
Like it. You can be like, okay, there all the times that it didn't have to do with the Avengers, it was about Steve Rogers's, stuff and not anyone else's stuff. But there just wasn't that many times like that. So it's still an Avengers movie. This one, it was a Doctor Strange / Wanda movie, but I guess the title doesn't really, they can't really make that work title wise, because
also weird that he just goes up to Wanda about American having conversation with her, but up until that point there was no interaction with those two characters. But
how do they know each other? Like
just casually
they know that they're on the same side.
Yeah,
in terms of Thanos,
because they both got dusted. They both came back at the same point. They did that fight against Thanos. That ended. She took off to go find Vision,
and he took off.
he took off back to New York to the Sanctum, but he knows, and then he knows where she was. Like, she's in the middle of fucking nowhere at the end of WandaVision.
Also, I was wondering when she reveals, like, oh yeah, like the hex is easy, but the lying's hard, and it reveals all the like the dead trees and stuff. Like, how far does that go? You know, like the cloud of
just death,
apple trees and whatever, right? Like, there's got to be a point where Doctor Strange, while he was flying up to that, was like, "Oh, that's weird. This road ends, and there's apple trees." Like, all of a sudden, right. And it's like, oh, it's kind of weird, because like when it zooms out to just reveal all the like dead trees and like all this stuff, I'm like, how far does that extend?
Yeah,
yeah. Even like the house is all dilapidated and everything.
Yeah,
so, like, where you living?
Yeah.
I thought it was Wundagore, and then when they mentioned that it wasn't, like, they actually went to a different Wundagore, I was like, oh, okay.
I did like that they said that she said the thing like, why did you bring us so far away? Because like that happens in every movie where it's like, why wouldn't you just portal to where you need to go? Or like in Endgame, when they go to that what's the planet with the Soul Stone?
Vormir.
Yeah, Vormir. Like, why did you fly yourself? You know, why didn't you go right up to the cliff instead of, you know, all the way at the bottom of the mountain, and then you have to like climb up?
Got to get your steps in.
Yeah, that's right.
Synchronize your Fitbits.
Like, oh, my Fitbit. Shit, I didn't charge it.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
That's right.
Yeah, well, they don't have time.
Yeah. We gotta
sure, they do. And when they go through the quantum realm, time
doesn't matter.
Although, not the point of plot hole, but fucking Michelle Pfeiffer aged in the quantum realm, which apparently is not supposed to happen. But that's a different podcast episode.
Oh, that'll be the breakdown for Quantumania.
When does that go?
That's the next one, I believe.
That's the next one?
Thor. It's Thor took its spot. They swapped. Thor and they swapped. That's right. That was supposed to be.
There's no way Thor comes out on time, right?
Why wouldn't it?
Hey, I would be surprised if Top Gun comes out in 2 weeks, then Thor will come out on time.
Like, we just got a Thor trailer, and it's coming out in.
Well, that's by design now, though. Like, they've changed the rules. You can't have trailers so far out like they used to. I know this is very close. This is closer than normal.
When did we see the first Morbius trailer? Like 18 years ago.
Well, yeah,
and we've just been seeing.
Well, because they got delayed. It got delayed by 2 years. It was supposed to come out before No Way Home, and then it came out after.
Yeah, I feel like it's just they have. I mean, I understand that they have so much stuff coming up before Thor that they have to promote, so it makes sense to, you know, there's no point in having a bunch of Thor trailers when Doctor Strange is coming out next.
Yeah,
and is Thor the next one, or there's a TV show?
No, I think it's the next one.
Yeah.
No, it's Kenobi. Miss Marvel. Yeah, it's not. That's a Disney thing, or Star Wars, not Marvel. I feel like them going fast and furious with Thor promos now will just be like, they just released a teaser, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and like they're gonna have 4 more trailers in the next 2 months.
Well, they'll have the one full, and then they'll have
TV spots.
You know, something in the NBA Finals. They'll do
because they've already released the Marvel Legends figures, and
did they?
They're available for pre-order. So like I would have to imagine that they're come hell or high water, that movie's coming out when they say it's coming out.
I hope when they give a rating out of we do 10 last time? We didn't do. No, we did stars. So 5 stars, 4
out of 10 stars.
I'm gonna say it's 10 stars.
No, just 5 stars.
Okay. I'm gonna say.
I think it was like 3.798 something was the Batman.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna say 4.1.
4.1, rounding up. 3.5.
Yeah, I'm closer to the 3.5 than the 4. Just I don't maybe another rewatch will bring it
I think
up.
that'll do it for me too.
Mhm.
Lower the expectations, go and watch it again.
Yeah, and especially like all the stuff about like, oh, you need to watch No Way Home and you need to watch this to go in, but you didn't like that. That wasn't a
No.
part of. So like, I was
WandaVision
kind
is
of
what you needed
like
to
I was
watch.
kind of going in, with the sense that it's going to be related to No Way Home, and I was excited because Spider-Man's like I love Spider-Man, so I thought there would be more No Way Home references, and I wasn't like disappointed about it, but I kind of just went in and
You're led astray.
yeah, I was like, oh, but now going in being like, all right, focus on the WandaVision of it all, focus on the what if of it all. I think that it'll probably come out a little better. I don't know how much. Maybe it gets bumped up to like the 4 range, but
3.75.
I think right now I'm at like a 3.6.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
the read carries at least half a star.
Oh
worth of weight
yeah,
for me.
yeah, that, like,
or half a point.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. Like I definitely want to see it again.
Yeah, I think a second watch will just having seen it, and also maybe like picking up other Easter eggs and stuff like that might make it a bit more fun too. So
Well, and yeah, because that's the thing. Like you now know what the beats are that you can just you know
you
coming,
can
so
kind
just
of you
focus
can
on-
you don't have to focus on the main thing. You can focus on more on the background stuff, and maybe pick up something that's that comes up. So
Like I've said before, the thing I hate the most about these type of movies is when they introduce something just to discard it at the end. So like we are introduced to the Darkhold, it's gone.
that's another thing that I didn't really get was so the Darkhold was transcribed from what is it, Wondercore? Wondercore. But like, are there not other Wondergores on other universes? Because
but they said that she did. They said that she destroyed all of them because at the
She destroyed all the Darkholds.
destroyed
but
all the
to Vishal's point
Darkholds,
is that
but, like,
place should still exist.
like, would they not be able to go into a different multiverse, go to Wondergore and transcribe it again?
Yeah,
if they need to. Like, that one specifically got destroyed because
We watched
rocks. There's no way they can undo rocks falling down.
Rocks. That's
obviously.
Right. It took out Captain Marvel. It's taken out a book.
Yeah. So rocks are the most powerful thing in Earth 616. At least we know that.
And then in 838, fire takes out books, relatively mystical books, easily as well.
Right. And knives.
Yes.
Well, mystical knives, but
mystical
still knives. But that was another thing where I just kind of was like, well, Earth 616 can't be so special that it's the only place that they could have transcribed the Darkhold from, because how did other universes get their Darkholds, right?
Is she fucking with reality so it never existed? Or could I, in theory, given timelines, a branch reality, it still exists even if it's not part of the multiverse?
Yeah, like in the past, they could go back, into the past or something.
I'm sure at the TVA there's going to be somebody with a Darkhold.
Yeah, just like a library of Darkholds, like that drawer of Infinity
you're in
Stones.
you're in the Darkhold department, aren't you?
Okay, it's just like we
along with the red stapler.
Yeah, well, it's just like in Ragnarok where Hela freaking shows like, oh look, there's the Infinity Gauntlet. No, it's a duplicate. Throws it off to the side. It's like, this is what everyone's fighting for the stones, and you're just like, yeah, no, it's fake.
Nah,
done. It's done. Yeah,
it's just like you introduce something cool and then it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they find another one in another universe, right? Or maybe someone just is strong enough to lift up the rocks from Wonderworld.
I don't know. Those are some pretty heavy rocks.
Yeah, they are heavy rocks. So
Do it.
They had like those Megatron looking guys guarding it too.
I know. I kept on thinking that too. I'm like, this looks like Transformers.
Yeah.
Is that Starscream?
You failed me yet again, Starscream. All right, yeah, I think that's a good way to wrap up Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Lack the madness. More of the multiverse. Multiverse of multiverse.
Multiverse for sure.
Oh, and then it was announced today that Jack Ryan is currently filming season 4 is ending, so somebody has an opening in their schedule. Maybe he comes back.
Someone's Outlook calendar looks free.
Yeah. I kind of admit, like,
so after you're done tweeting at Kevin Federline and Kevin Federline, shoot old Johnny a tweet and just be like, "Hey, so what do you think? Hey, heard you were free. I know a guy that might need you.
Let me just. I'll throw a placeholder in your calendar. We'll just
just accept it for now, and as we get closer, we can adjust.
And when you accept it, please send a response so I know that you received it. People often do no response with the accepting. But like to the point that's been said many times, people don't just sign up for no reason for like a little small. Like if he's doing it, he's doing it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And they could he could shave and be,
younger,
20 years younger, Reed Richards, and then, in a couple of movies, grow the beard back and be like, 10 years later, I'm still Reed Richards, but like he can have that. He's got a wide range, like age range that he can work with.
Yeah.
Like
and it could, because you would almost assuming that Fantastic Four would have Galactus, you would need to do it across 3 films, not just one.
It wouldn't be just one.
Yeah. Interesting.
But that would be if I mean, this might be a discussion for another time, but because they would have to, who would be Doctor Doom? How would they bring him in? And then is Galactus going to be the big bad, or we're throwing Kang out there? We've got
Kang's an Ant-Man. So that may or may not get resolved.
Yeah, but it's also weird. It depends on if they're going to do the big bad the same way they did in the Infinity Saga. It's like it's going to be Thanos and his hands are in a lot of things, or are they just going to do maybe a big bad per phase now instead of like the big bad? And we also have Celestials and all this other stuff that are from Eternals. So there's lots of very strong enemies that can
lots of options
that they have, and some of them they haven't even shown in movies yet, so there's just lots of places they can go.
We'll find out in time, right?
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. And with that, we will wrap up this episode of Open Caller. So for Steve and Vishal, Cory, everybody, to keep it casual.
See ya.